Welcome to the captivating world of Sri Lanka, where vibrant culture, stunning landscapes, and thrilling sporting events converge. Get ready for an unforgettable experience as we present the perfect blend of tourism and sportsmanship at the prestigious RTC Governor's Cup.
A very good morning to one and all present here at the RTC Nuwara Eliya, and on behalf of the chairman, the stewards and the members of the managing committee of the Royal Turf Club Nuwara Eliya, I welcome you all to the RTC Magic Million Cup Race Day 2025, powered by Edwards Collection on the 27th of Sunday, April 2025. We have a card of 5 races, and the first race of the morning is the Hill Rise Villa Nuwara Eliya Trophy, to be run over a distance of 1,070 meters for horses rated 20 to 40. In handicap, 5 horses go to post, and we will be beginning shortly from now. So please stand by, and hope you have a lovely morning here at Nuwara Eliya.
check one, check one, check one, audio check one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As we spoke that we've lost the Pope, and also with the terror attack in Kashmir, our heart goes out to the victims' families, and also we mourn the loss of the Pope. So in lieu to that, I request everybody to please maintain 1 minute of silence, and if we can all stand up and bow our heads in gratitude to the people who've lost their loved ones, and also to show our gratitude towards passing away of the Pope. Again, requesting everybody to please rise, as we would like to mourn for a minute for the families who've lost their loved ones in the recent terror attack in Kashmir, and also losing a great leader, the Pope. So please requesting everybody to please stand up and bow their head in gratitude for a minute. Let's maintain 1 minute of silence for the people who've lost their families and for losing out on a great leader, the Pope. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the horses are on the main track for the running of the first race, which is the Hill Rise Nuwara Eliya Trophy for horses rated 20 to 40 handicap, distance 1070 meters. 5 runners go to post. That's number 1, Super Ruffian, to be ridden by jockey P. Sai Kumar. Number 2, Santos, to be ridden by jockey Ashat Asbar. Number 3, Fiat Justitia, to be ridden by M.S. Deora. Then we have horse number 4, Skylight, to be ridden by John Michael. And horse number 5, Godsworth, to be ridden by R. Rian Ahmed. So the runners and riders are on the way towards the starting gate, distance 1070 meters. Well, the RTC Magic Million Cup is brought to you by Edwards Collection, is powered by Edwards Collection. I'm sure that everybody is very well versed with the luxury collection that Edwards has, but the collection is a distinguished portfolio of luxury villas, boutique hotels, curated experience across Sri Lanka, proudly set in the spirit of classic Sri Lanka. Well, on your screens is the grey Godsworth trotting down towards the starting gate. Well, as we were discussing, the Edwards Collection has some iconic properties spread across Talpi, which is the Firangipani tree, Agama, which is Villa Maurya, Fort Gal has Tambali House, Valpetia has the Sandals, Pinwala has the Far Pavilion, Kandy has the Hermitage, and Nuwara Eliya has the Hill Rise Villa and Stables, who's sponsoring the first race of the morning. So if you've not experienced this luxury, please make your bookings at www.edwardscollections.com and experience the spirit of classic Sri Lanka right here. Also, talking about the iconic Nuwara Eliya Racecourse, this is a racecourse situated 6,000 feet above sea level, is one of the highest racecourses in the world. The track is approximately 1,800 meters in circumference, which is about 9 furlongs. The notable races run here are the Governor's Cup, Queen's Cup, and the RTC Magic Million, which is to be run today. The feature of the day, which is the 5th race in the race card. In the meanwhile, the runners and riders are beginning to approach at the starting gate. It's fine, छोड़ दो. थोड़ा ये and also from the chairman, the stewards and the managing committee of the Royal Turf Club Nuwara Eliya, we'd like to welcome our chief guest for the day, which is Suranjit Premadasa sir. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion, and we welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we hear a huge round of applause for our chief guest for the day, Mr. Suranjit Premadasa. In the meanwhile, the runners and riders have reached the starting gate, with the exception of horse number 1, Super Ruffian, who's just crossing the 1600 meters. There seems to be a slight hold up and delay. There you have it on your screens. Super Ruffian is just crossing the 1400. And is making his way on towards the starting gate at the 1000 meters. In the meanwhile, the other runners and riders are patiently being circled behind the starting gate. Loading operations will commence the moment Super Ruffian makes his way to the start. The rider of Skylight is off his mount. Super Ruffian is just behind the Nuwara Eliya Council building and has just come into view, is about 100 meters away from the starting gate. There you see it, the four runners being circled behind the stalls, with the rider of Skylight, John Michael, is off his mount. Super Ruffian seems to have reached the starting gate at the 1000. So all the five runners for the first race are at the starting gate. The rider of Fiat Justicia just trying to check if all is well on the saddle. Schedule time up. Loading operations should commence any moment from now. Sure. I will. Well, fun facts about the running of the RTC Magic Million is that Here and Now has won this edition in 2023 and 2024. It will be an historic moment to see if Here and Now will take the RTC Magic Million for a third straight time and make it a hat-trick. So a lot riding on Here and Now, with a change of jockey now being ridden by R. Rayan Ahmed. Will Here and Now make it 3 in a row for the RTC Magic Million? Well, you have to wait and watch, because that's the 5th race in the race card. Well, an exciting day here at Nuwara Eliya. The weather has been kind enough. It's nice and pleasant, with the horses being paraded behind the starting stalls, and crowd seems to have come in good numbers. Like we also said, that this racecourse is the highest racecourse in the world, situated 6,000 meters above the sea level, 6,000 feet above the sea level. And the notable races here are the Governor's Cup, Queen's Cup, and the RTC Magic Million, which is to be run today on the 27th of April. Well, the day is powered by Edwards Collection, so a big thank you to our sponsors, which are the main sponsor being Edwards Collection and our hospitality partner being Blackpool. And we also have a plethora of official print and media partners. With that, beacon flashes starting time. Santos is the first one to get in. The horses are now being stalled. Fiat Justitia is being walked up. Fiat Justitia has been stalled. Super Ruffian has been taken in. Three horses have been stalled. Skylight is being walked up. Skylight is standing close to the gates. Skylight has stepped in. Just waiting now for Godsworth to come and complete the lineup of 5 runners for this first race of the morning. The rider of Godsworth is off his mount. I think Godsworth is being a bit restless. The rider now standing on the frames of the gate. Godsworth will be led in without the rider. And also not to forget our official broadcast partner, it's POTV Sports. Well, Godsworth is being pushed in. I guess Godsworth is being a bit mulish behind the starting stalls. The handlers trying to blindfold Godsworth and get him, but he's still restless and is being mulish behind the starting stalls. The other 4 runners, Super Ruffian, Santos, Fiat Justitia, and Skylight, are patiently waiting in the starting stalls for Godsworth to come and complete the line of 5 runners for the running of the first race, which is the Hill Rise Villa Nuwara Eliya Trophy. Blinds have been put on Godsworth, and the handlers trying to get him in without the rider. He's in no mood to get in today. He's being absolutely mulish. There is Godsworth. Now the jockey again getting back, trying to change the tactics for getting Godsworth into the stalls. Well, I think the tactics have worked. All 5 runners are in the stalls for the first race. Rider of Godsworth, Ryan Ahmed, is back in the saddle. They're all in, set to go. Track clears, stand by for the start. Starters orders, and off they go for the running of the Hill Rise Villa Nuwara Eliya Trophy. Off to an even dispatch there by the field of 5, and on settling down, it's Super Ruffian takes it up from Santos on the outside. Then we've got Godsworth in the centre, followed there by Fiat Justicia, and Skylight as the back marker. They continue their journey past the 600, and it's Super Ruffian about half in front of Santos, who's ranging up on the outside. Towards the inside, it's Godsworth. About 4-5 lengths away comes Fiat Justicia, followed there by Skylight as they go past the 400 and head towards the home straight. It's Super Ruffian still calling the shots by about a length in front of Godsworth, who's ranging up on the inside. On the outside is Santos, followed there by Fiat Justicia, and Skylight as the back marker. Here they come wheeling round the corner, and as they head towards home, it's Super Ruffian about 2 in front of Godsworth in second. Then we've got Santos, followed there by Skylight taking a shortest possible route. Then we've got Fiat Justicia, but inside the last 100 meters, it's Super Ruffian from Godsworth. It's Super Ruffian about 2 in front of Godsworth, who's going to win the Nuwara Eliya Hill Rise Trophy from Godsworth. Then we've got Skylight, followed there by Santos and Fiat Justicia as they went past the post. So what a race this is, a start to finish affair by Super Ruffian. From the moment go, he jumped out and never looked back. He set the pace, and he kept on kicking. He was comfortably ahead, and as they went past the post, he had 2 lengths in between him and Godsworth. So Super Ruffian there, the winner of the Hill Rise Villa Nuwara Eliya Trophy, owned by Mr. Hasanga Jairatne and Mrs. Paba Jairatne, trained by Mr. S.V. Mathi Algan, and ridden by jockey P. Sai Kumar. So there you have it on your screens, Super Ruffian ridden by P. Sai Kumar. A start to finish essay there, winning the opening race of the day. Sir. Sir. Manjunath sir. Yes sir. Sorry? Sir, I can't hear you, Manjunath. I can't hear you. Tell me, sir. One, 5, 4, 2, 3. Okay. I'll announce the result. Well, let's hear a huge round of applause for the winner, Super Ruffian. And the judges' placings for the first race of the morning is horse number 1, Super Ruffian first, horse number 5, Godsworth second, horse number 4, Skylight third, horse number 2, Santos fourth, and horse number 3, Fiat Justicia fifth. I repeat, here are the official placings for the first race: 1, 5, 4, 2, 3. Well, for all our viewers who are watching us live, the highlights being displayed. If you see, Super Ruffian jumped out, and from the word go, set the pace, and as they turned for home, Super Ruffian was comfortably in the lead there, with jockey P. Sai Kumar in total control of the race. He never had to look back and passed the winning post comfortably, and taking the first race of the morning, which is the Hill Rise Villa Nuwara Eliya Trophy. So we'll come back to you shortly for the second race. Until then, please stick around and enjoy yourself.
Clouds is the only water in Sri Lanka which comes from a natural spring. Above our spring is a protected forest, untouched by humans. This is as pure as it gets. Clouds is the only water in Sri Lanka which comes from a natural spring. Above our spring is a protected forest, untouched by humans. This is as pure as it gets.
Rated 0 to 20 handicap distance 1,400 meters. 4 runners go to post. That's horse number 1 Zulu Fantasy, to be ridden by jockey R. Rayan Ahmed. Horse number 2 Solomon Moment, to be ridden by jockey P. Sai Kumar. Horse number 3 Glittering, to be ridden by jockey L. Ravi Kumar, the local jockey. And horse number 4 Krabi, to be ridden by jockey Ashad Asbar. So the runners and riders are in front of the grandstand, making their way towards the 1400 meters. We should commence shortly from now. No sooner the runners and riders reach the starting gate. Lovely picturesque view of the Nuwara Eliya Racecourse being displayed there. Well, there you see the race card for the second race, which is the Sunday Times Trophy, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. Horse number 1 Zulu Fantasy, to be ridden by jockey R. Rayan Ahmed. Horse number 2 Solomon Moment, to be ridden by jockey P. Sai Kumar. Horse number 3 Glittering, to be ridden by the local jockey L. Ravi Kumar. And horse number 4 Krabi, to be ridden by jockey Ashad Asbar. So the runners and riders are on the way towards the starting gate, and horse number 4 Krabi was being led out to the starting gate without the rider, was a bit restless in the paddock, so being led out without the rider to the starting gate. So 2 runners have already reached the starting gate. That's Zulu Fantasy and Solomon Moment. Just crossing the 1600 is glittering, and about 100 meters away is Karabi. The weather out here at Nuwara Eliya is pleasant, and it's a lovely day for racing here at Nuwara Eliya. Well, once again reminding our patrons that this is one of the highest race courses in the world, situated at 6,000 feet above the sea level. The track is about 9 furlongs, which is about 1800 meters, and notably the notable races run here are the Governor's Cup, the Queen's Cup, and the RTC Magic Million, which is the 5th race in the race card for today. And not to forget our main sponsor for the day, which is the RTC Magic Million Race Day 2025, being powered by the Edwards Collection. Well, I did tell you that the Edwards Collection is a distinguished portfolio of luxury villas, boutique hotels curated to experience across Sri Lanka, proudly set in the spirit of classic Sri Lanka. Each property is uniquely crafted to offer disgruntled travelers a sense of privacy, personalized services, and authentic Sri Lankan charm. From golden beaches to misty hills, Edward Collection promises timeless elegance, exclusive comfort, and unforgettable stays. So if you've not visited the properties yet, you know what to do. Go to www.edwardscollections.com and book your stay at one of the luxury properties of Edwards Collections. Well, there are lots of memories to be made, so head on to www.edwardscollections.com and experience the spirit of classic Sri Lanka. Not to forget our hospitality partner, Blackpool Hotel, and our live sponsor for the day, which is POTV Sports. So the runners and riders have reached the starting gate at the 1400, with the rider of Karabi still off his mount. Karabi is playing up a bit, seems to be restless from the moment it left the starting gate. This race to be run over the 1400 meters and is for horses rated 0 to 20, which is the Sunday Times Trophy, the second race in today's card. We've got an exciting card of 5 races, and the main feature attraction being the 5th race, which is the RTC Magic Million. Like I announced earlier, the RTC Magic Million has been won by Here and Now 2 years in succession, which is 2023 and 2024. Would it be a hat-trick for Here and Now? And will he take the 2025 edition as well? That is something that we need to wait and watch. And if it does unfold, it'll be history in the making for Here and Now, for winning the RTC Magic Million 3 years in a row. Well, the 4 runners being circled behind the stalls at the 1400. The rider of Karabi is off his mount, will be led without the rider, is standing on the frames of the gate. Loading operations should commence any moment from now, as we already have passed the scheduled time. Well, beacon flashes, starting time. The rider as Karabi is the first one to get in. The horses are now being stalled. The rider of Karabi is yet to get in to the saddle. In the meanwhile, Zulu Fantasy walking in. Zulu Fantasy has been stalled. Well, the weather has been kind enough. It's a pleasant morning for racing, and we couldn't have asked the weather gods to be kind enough for this lovely morning. A good, pleasant day for racing, and we see huge crowds in numbers present here at the Royal Turf Club Nuwara Eliya to experience the running of the RTC Magic Million Day. The rider of Solomon Moment also is off his mount. I think will be led in without the rider. Blinds have been put on Solomon Moment. The riderless Solomon Moment is being tried. Rings are being used on Solomon Moment. He's being a bit mulish behind the starting stalls, a bit reluctant to get in. About half a dozen handlers working on Solomon Moment to push him into stall number 3. In the meanwhile, the two runners, which is Karabi and Zulu Fantasy, waiting patiently in the starting stalls. Once again, blinds have been put on Solomon Moment as he's been restless to get into the stalls. And glittering as well is yet to be loaded. So 2 runners in and 2 runners still to be loaded. The handlers bringing out the rings on Solomon Moment and trying to get him in. He's planted and refuses to move even a bit. Once again, the blinds are off Solomon Moment. Well, he's almost there, but once again reluctant to get into the stalls. Handlers bring out the rings once again. More than half a dozen handlers trying to push in Solomon Moment. Well, he says not today. Solomon Moment is getting the better of the handlers at the moment. He's standing planted there without even moving a bit. I think the handlers are winning this battle. He's finally moved in, so a wonderful job there by the handlers for getting in Solomon Moment, who was really mulish and refusing to get in, but the handlers get the better of Solomon Moment. So Solomon Moment is being stalled. 3 runners in the gate. That's Karabi, Zulu Fantasy, Solomon Moment, just waiting now for Glittering to come and complete the lineup of 4 runners for the running of the second race, which is the Sunday Times Trophy over the distance of 1400 meters. Now Glittering is being blindfolded, is being walked up. Glittering gets in quietly, so all 4 runners locked up and ready. Stand by for a start. Track clears. Starters orders, and off they go for the running of the Sunday Times Trophy. And it is Zulu Fantasy and Karabi showing out in the early stages from Solomon Moment in third, and Glittering is being planted in the starting stalls and refused to gallop, and the field reduced to 3 horses as they go past the 1000 now, and it's Zulu Fantasy showing out in the early stages from Karabi in second. Then we've got Solomon Moment in third as the field go past the 800 as they make their way towards the 600. So a moderate run pace with Karabi setting the pace there, leads by about a length in front of Zulu Fantasy in second. Then we've got Solomon Moment as they tumble down towards the home straight, passing the 600 meter marker. Karabi it is, about a length in front of Zulu Fantasy, ranging up on the outside. In third, we've got Solomon Moment as they swing around the corner and come towards the home straight. It's Karabi and Zulu Fantasy fighting it out, nothing between them, and Solomon Moment trying to take the shortest possible route in the center as they swing around the corner. But it's Karabi about half in front of Solomon Moment on the inside. Then we've got Zulu Fantasy, but inside the last 300 they go. It's Solomon Moment who's stolen the march from Karabi, and it's Solomon Moment about 2 in front of Karabi. Then we've got Zulu Fantasy, but in the run up to the line, it's Solomon Moment who's stolen a march about 5 to 6 lengths away, and it's all going to be Solomon Moment who's win this one from Karabi in second. Then we've got Zulu Fantasy, and the one that refused to raise a fluent gallop and did not finish was Glittering. So what a wonderful, wonderful race here. Won by Solomon Moment, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Gami and Chami Jairatne. Trained by SV Mathialgan, ridden by P. Sai Kumar. Well, Sai Kumar positioned himself in that third position till they turned for home, and he saw that opportunity towards the inside, grabbed it, and with a tap or two, Solomon Moment responded really well, and there was no looking back once he entered the straight, where he stretched the margin of victory to over 7 to 8 lengths. So the Sunday Times Trophy winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Solomon Moment, the property of Mr. and Mrs. Gami and Chami Jairatne, trained by SV Mathialagan, ridden by jockey P. Sai Kumar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, the winner for you, Solomon Moment. Can we have a huge round of applause for the winner, please? Solomon Moment coming back to you right in front of the grandstand. A superbly timed race there by jockey P. Sai Kumar, the property of Mr. and Mrs. Gami and Chami Jairatne, trained by SV Mathialgan. So, ladies and gentlemen, the judges' placings for the second race, the Sunday Times Trophy, won by horse number 2, Solomon Moment. Second place goes to horse number 4, Karabi. Third is horse number 1, Zulu Fantasy. The complete judges' placings, 2, 1, 4. So, ladies and gentlemen, the highlights coming up for you. There you have it. Glittering, refusing to gallop, and the 3 horses, which is Karabi, Zulu Fantasy and Solomon Moment, jumped out well. Karabi led to most of the way, with Zulu Fantasy in second, then we've had Solomon Moment in third. But that all changed as they turned for home about 400 meters, where Zulu Fantasy and Karabi was fighting it out. Solomon Moment seized that moment towards the inner railing and quickly taking up that position and extending his margin of victory and never looking back as they passed, and won the race superbly by over the distance of 7 to 8 lengths. So there you have it, the winner, led in by Mr. Gami Jairatne, was trained by SV Mathialagan, ridden by jockey P. Sai Kumar. So that was the second race, the Sunday Times Trophy. We shall be back shortly with you for the running of the third race, which is the Blackpool Resorts and Spa. So until then, over to the DJ to belt some lovely numbers for you. The dance floor is open. Over to you. Thank you.
Clouds is the only water in Sri Lanka which comes from a natural spring. Above our spring is a protected forest, untouched by humans. This is as pure as it gets. Clouds is the only water in Sri Lanka which comes from a natural spring. Above our spring is a protected forest, untouched by humans. This is as pure as it gets. Clouds is the only water in Sri Lanka which comes from a natural spring. Above our spring is a protected forest, untouched by humans. This is as pure as it gets. Clouds is the only water in Sri Lanka which comes from a natural spring. Above our spring is a protected forest, untouched by humans. This is as pure as it gets.
Well, we welcome all our viewers watching us live here at the RTC. Well, as you can see, the rain gods have not been kind to us, and an inspection was done by the jockeys, trainers, and the chief stipendary steward. And in due to the underfoot conditionings of heavy downpour, the chief stipendary steward, along with the executive committee or the RTC, have decided that the track is inconducive for racing, and we regret to inform you that the remainder of the 3 races for the day stand cancelled. I repeat that due to underfoot condition and the track being inconducive for racing, the other 3 remainder of the races have been cancelled. We regret the inconvenience caused, and thank you so much for being here, and also for all our viewers who are watching us live. We regret the inconvenience, as the weather gods have not been kind to us, and the track being heavily underfooted, a decision has been taken in lieu to this, that along with the chief stipendary steward and the executive committee, that the racing for the remainder of the 3 races stands cancelled. Thank you.